I thought at one point it was like me, Clay, Priest, and Cammy. Best M4s in the game.
Did you hear that?
Ever since Cam seen that Crim tweet, like his ego's been insane.
Just keep it running. Move over, mate, you're in my seat.
Oh, cool.
Oh, is that for me, is it? Cheers. Nah, come on now, all the way over. Nah, that never happened.
Sean's absolute. Sean's absolute. Sean's absolute on B. Sean's absolute on B.
Nice!
We're definitely happy to be going into winners bracket, and it really puts you in a tough position if you start off in losers round one, like having to go through all of those teams, then make it all the way to the final, and then you have to win like a best of 9 in the final. It's a very long road.
Obviously we're going to start off against Optic Gaming in the winners bracket, and hopefully we can put in a good performance and we can progress in that bracket. I think amongst the community we're a big underdog. I think everyone kind of expects Optic to win that game, but we kind of relish the opportunity to be an underdog in the series because we don't go into it with too much pressure, and we really think that we're capable of beating them.
This is going to be a great match. You got Optic on one side who are trying to build off of that win versus the Empire, and you have the Ultra on the other side who are just coming off of a loss versus the Subliners trying to bounce back. We'll just have to wait and see.
Coming into the series, we knew we were going to get some great maps on our end, so it was just about executing correctly, especially the S&Ds.
Going into that first map, we knew even if they won it, it was not that big of a deal because it's like their #1 map, and we were confident in our search and destroy and also our control.
228 to 226, it is a bloodbath going on in top of the plane right now, Stud. Oh, and CleanX, he drops. That could have been the opening. That could have been the opening for Toronto. Nobody's going to be close to the point in time, and Optic will hold on here in the opening hard point.
I think this team were just quite composed. Like, it doesn't really faze us if we go down so much. Going into that S&D, we just kept taking it round by round, and we just took that 5-5. And I think from there, that was the big swing.
Versus 3, all left up to the ARs. And Insight puts in the work onto Formal and says goodnight to Dashy as well. As Toronto stay alive here in the search and destroy, winning 3 straight rounds.
The next 2 free maps, I'd say we made pretty mad comebacks and clutch plays to win it.
10 seconds, Toronto, they're putting in all the necessary kills. It might just come down to Scump. Somebody has to make the play. Time starting to dwindle. There goes Scump as well. And it will be the Ultra.
Against FaZe, obviously we played them in groups and we got absolutely clattered. So going into that game, it was like, oh God, here we go again. The Tiny Terrors, the 17-0, whatever they were in Respawn.
It was a bit disappointing result, but the guys took a lot of positivity from the close nature of the series, even though it might have not looked so close. But
it was kind of like good knowing we can actually go head to head with them, and the score for them doesn't do it justice.
We sort of just jumped back on the train and kept going. Coming up against LA Thieves in the major was interesting because they've just obviously made massive roster changes in terms of their composition.
They were looking pretty strong throughout the whole tournament. They'd done a nice losers run. They beat New York, who'd been looking really good 3-0, so we knew it was going to be a tough match.
I think for their entire run, they were playing like the exact same maps of like Checkmate Hardpoint and Checkmate Control, and they were just beating teams on those 2 maps, and I was just like, yo, if we take these maps out, like, we'll make them play to our strengths instead of like trying to square up against them.
2 players on front now, and Bats gets the both, all 3 for Bats. The defense holds, Toronto looking strong.
In a row, the round 11 we go, and
2 kills for him. Oh my word, Cammy finds another one, and now TJ, it is an absolute disaster. For the LA Thieves,
we closed out a bunch of very, very close maps, to be honest. Even against a team like 100 Thieves, even with 3-0'd, it was a very close one, and I think that's the mentality we have to have going on throughout this season, that we just need to continue to to respect every team and prepare for each team individually.
Got 4 teams left. Today we crowned a champion and, well, their share of this $500,000.
We then moved on to play Minnesota, who had just come off of a big 3-2 victory against Optic with that ridiculous 1v3 accuracy lineup shot. But obviously they had a lot of momentum and they're full of confidence from topping their group.
They're a tough team to beat because they are actually really good at search and destroy. So like if they take a respawn off you, it can kind of get quite scary.
Rocker's trying to hold on, at least contest. They're only 30 points away.
I don't know what is in their prep meals to start the day or what has been going on this weekend, but the hard point's so much better for Rocker.
We lost the first map against them, came out kind of slow first game of the day.
A bunch of little mistakes.
And then we kind of gathered our momentum.
Ultra, they put him to bed, they continue on and set up for a date with Dallas Empire.
Top 3, let's go!
Went 1-0 down, we rallied back next 3 and we looked very convincing in those next 3 and closed out in very clutch moments too.
They get a little break, you sit aside for 10 minutes, regain, refocus for the next match because it just gets more difficult from here.
In between the games, there was basically no break. We had to go straight into the integrity check, straight into a server check.
It is time for the losers bracket final. Empire, Ultra, the stars align. The winner gets a date with Atlanta FaZe in the final.
This is where we're going up against a team that we've not beat before.
It was a series to see how good we really were because we knew they were a top team.
We're again underdogs, we know the pressure's on them. They again play a similar play style to us with aggressive SMGs, so we know we're going to get comfortable maps again for us.
Checkmate. You know, that's going to be Dallas's pick. They're very strong. Come in, the stuns come in, and Empire's going to fly. Is this the collapse? Now Empire, it is their chance to put the game away. The lead changes in.
And again, we got off to a kind of slowish start. We dropped the first hard point.
But it's fine because we were really good at S&D, so we brought it back to 1-1. Came down to control, small things again. Last round, we just clutched up. Had momentum going into 4th map. We actually went down quite a lot. They had streaks and all sorts.
This is where the game can open up. Hoop now on 5 in a row. Grim on 4. Can you earn some streaks? You get those streaks, you can play basketball, and the game can get ugly.
A streak comes in from Empire, but it is a huge break from Ultra in the court.
Not only that, they also get 4 dead, and they have the 5th hill rotation. The lead changed to New Hill. Toronto full control.
What a stretch it is from Ultra. Into the lead they go.
We made plays, brought it back. Unreal stuff from the boys, and then ended up winning 3-1.
They're all in front of you, but he cannot do it. Ultra behind the brakes. Get to a grand final.
You think Ultra even have a chance?
I mean, if we're being perfectly honest, you turn this into a best of 9. That means you have to play them on basically every single map in the game. They have been absurd, the final boss. And of course, for any team that's expecting to get to the finals, you know you're going to be meeting FaZe there. You know this is the team to beat.
I knew it was going to be obviously really hard to get the job done, and I didn't expect it to go the way it did.
And then everyone had us to lose, get smoked.
I don't even think we were predicted to win the majority of series we played, to be honest, or any of the series we played at the majors.
0.2%, that overall tells us one thing, that 9 people, that is 9 human beings, thought that Toronto Ultra would make it this far. 9 people. We are off. Or Toronto Ultra in the white, you've got Atlanta FaZe in the red.
We started on their best map and that best of 9. Garrison Hardpoint.
Forward a BC5, a BC6.
Again, if you start letting these players get hot, it might get out of control real quick.
A BC started like 6-0, so I was thinking, oh, here we go again, man. But
instantly we were down 150 to like 30 or something, and I was like, oh, this is looking slow, like this could be brutal.
Tough start already for Ultra.
FaZe has not dropped a single respawn to Toronto Ultra. They are 8-0 in both hardpoints and control.
But we actually managed to bring it back, and we managed to take the lead at one point.
Ultra, despite things looking a little down, a little bit gloomy, they are pulling this back 1 hill at a time.
And that was on their best map. We ended up losing by 50 points, but it was very winnable for us.
We all sat there and looked at each other and was like, we can do this.
That was one thing throughout our whole Sundays. We just didn't let those moments push us down.
It's literally just steal a respawn. I knew like we were just a better S&D team than them.
Insight, too clean, S&D prowess on point.
They'd been the best control team. I think they'd hardly lost a control round prior to that final.
It was always coming down to the respawns and like if we can take one.
Vance, he knows what his key to success is, man. Get behind enemy lines and start to slay.
So us taking the checkmate control was huge. Not only did we go 2-1 up, but we proved prove to ourselves that, you know, we can take respawns off these guys.
And as soon as we took that first respawn, like, I think the whole team like vibe and energy just like switched.
But even still, Toronto with the pressure. The final players for FaZe are gonna be trapped, and the cleanup crew is there from Toronto.
Insight's there! Insight's there with 2 massive kills. 3 seconds to go. Is anyone able to contest? No. Once again, Toronto Ultra stun, shock and surprise us.
And then we lose 2 straight and we're backs against the wall again, we're down 3-2. The resilience from the guys was massive because we lose that very close, tough match. We know we should have won that map, but they just bounced back.
We had a quick rallying moment and we moved into the raid control.
As the fight makes us way forward, but what is going on? Why is Kleenex still alive? Why has no one killed him? 5 in a row. Kleenex! Chance, what in the f is going on?
3-0 control, a 6-0 S&D.
Going into that next respawn, I was like, yeah, this is over, we've won already.
It's 10 seconds for the win now. This is it. Ultra holding it down. They've got 5 seconds for the win. Simp's going to contest. He's going to get cut to pieces. And what do you know?
And then you just see Victory come up on your screen, headset thrown off, controller on the desk.
Your major 2 champions, Toronto Ultra.
For me, I'm like trying not to get too caught up in all the glitz and glam of winning. I want us to stay focused and just stay humble and know that like 2 weeks ago we were in a much different position. So all it takes is 2 weeks to fall off. So you need to keep grinding, keep going hard. We want to maintain this. We want to maintain consistency throughout the season and obviously going into the end of the season. So for me, I'm trying not to enjoy it too much, as weird as that sounds. I'm trying not to think of as champions. I mean, it's a major, it's massive, it's great. But at the end of the day, our end goal is to continue to sustain success throughout the season and then win at champs. And then if we win champs, don't worry, I'll enjoy it. I'll enjoy it for a few months, for sure. But now the season is still underway and I just want to continue to focus on progress going forward.
I'm going wrong, all right? Shut up. I'm going wrong. Shut up. Ready?